name is Dilys, and I would like to welcome you to Speak Now or Forever Hold Your Peace. This is a forum that I've put together for people to be able to discuss issues that are important to them, things that are hot topics on the news around the world, and a place where we can just express ourselves. For me, it's also a place where I can just share some of my thoughts and, things that are important to me. Today's topic really is something that I just found, or it found me, basically. And it's about rape. Now, for those of you who aren't Ghanaian or not familiar with the Ghanaian media or what have you, there is a media personality who has been accused of raping a 19-year-old girl. He's called Kwesi Kyei Darkwa, popularly known as KKD, and the victim is 19 years of age. I think I just need to make it very clear that I'm not here to take sides, primarily because I wasn't there. I don't have the information to be able to determine truth or lies. I don't know. What has become really apparent from the discussions that I've seen, on social media and personal conversations that I've had, is that we have a fundamental misunderstanding of what rape is. And that's what has brought me to discuss this issue as the first topic. Now, a lot of people have come up with different things that, the girl's 19 years of age. She's not a child. It's not like she's 12. So how could she have been raped? Then I've heard people make comments like, well, she went to his hotel room. What did she expect? And then I've also heard, well, she didn't shout. Well, she dragged to the room. And that is the criteria that we have used to determine a rape victim from somebody that has consented to sex. I mean, I've even had another comment that, if I'm actually in the act, then, hey, I'm in the act, so it's fine. That person couldn't have been a rape victim. Now, as I said, I'm not here to take sides, but a few things that have gone through my mind is that, well, let's say the person did consent to having sex. Let's say she was a willing participant, popular guy, might be, financially secure, whatever the reasons were, the person consented to having sex. But when they get into the room, they decide that, hold on a minute, this guy wants anal sex. I'm only used to, or I've only experienced normal sex. Or this guy's into some kinky stuff. He likes to hurt people. He's got some stuff, he's into sadomasochistic sex. I've never had that kind of sex before. Or I have had that kind of sex before, but today I don't want to have that kind of sex. Or he wants some of his friends to join in. Or whatever. And at that point, the woman decides, or the girl decides, you know what? I'm out. I don't really feel comfortable in this situation, so I'd like to leave now, please. And that person makes an attempt to leave and they say they want to leave. What happens then? Or better still, let's for those of you that don't know, I'm based in England, I'm based in the UK. According to the laws of this land, a man can rape his wife, and a prostitute can be a victim of rape. And I'm sure to a lot of people they're thinking, how on earth can a prostitute be a victim of rape? Well, she can. And my point is this: if a prostitute can determine whose money she will take and whose money she will reject, then how much more somebody that is not selling sex? I don't think it is right that a girl's naivety or stupidity should somehow make her culpable in the act of being a victim of rape. I don't see why inexperience should translate to well, it's your fault. What did you expect? I'm not taking sides. I'm just saying, based on the things that I've heard, I find it difficult to understand. Now, the definition of rape in this country, it says rape occurs when a person intentionally or recklessly penetrates another person's vagina, anus or mouth with their penis, where the victim does not consent and the person responsible has no reasonable belief that the victim is giving consent. Part 2. And this is where it gets interesting. In circumstances where penetration is initially consented to, but consent is later withdrawn, the person responsible will have committed rape. The victim can be male or female. I will read part 2 again. In circumstances where penetration is initially consented to, but consent is later withdrawn. In other words, at some point the woman says, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. The person responsible will have committed rape. Now, what I will say is, as individuals, it's really important that we understand that our personal boundaries are our personal boundaries. And yes, due to our naivety, stupidity, inexperience, we may put ourselves in situations that may be harmful to us, but that shouldn't mean we need to pay for them for the rest of our lives. It doesn't give anybody a free pass to do whatever they want with us. So if somebody initiates or somebody consents to having sex and they feel for whatever reason that they no longer want to go ahead, according to the definition of rape, they have every right to be able to withdraw that consent because it's their body. I'll tell you really quickly because I don't want this to be too long, but I remember being 16 years of age and this person was actually somebody that I was dating. I was not sexually active at that age. And I'd gone to his house, he'd actually picked me up from home, I'd gone to his house and his room was massive and his cousins and a couple of friends were there and we were watching something and I saw him give a sign to the people that were there, come out of the room. And the door was locked. And I'm thinking, and, my son's cameraman, so he's kind of looking a bit apprehensive, thinking, nothing happened. But if something had happened, would the argument have been, I deserved it, it was my fault? What did I think was going to happen if I'm going to sit in a boys' room? I was innocent. So I'm not thinking, oh, maybe this is... No, actually, I wasn't. Would my naivety, would my inexperience, would my stupidity have been my fault had I been a victim at that time? Just food for thought. I'm in neither camp. I'm just saying, let's understand fundamentally what rape is, and on that basis,